you would expect from Walmart, this level of packaging. I think this to me feels like what I would expect would come from like DHgate or Temu or something. Is it a fake? Is it not? Why would Walmart, in my mind, dice with potentially getting sued by Hermes for launching a short-run series of bags that some of us would call fakes?
Hermes is done. If this rumor is even half true, then the Birkin bag, that overpriced symbol of elite fashion, has officially been exposed as a scam. Allegedly, Jane Birkin's daughter just dropped the fashion industry's dirtiest secret. Hermes and Walmart were using the same Chinese manufacturer. I mean, what? You're telling me people were paying $30,000 for the same stitching and hardware used in a $30 Walmart knockoff?
Birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Today, I'm going to break it down in front of you step by step. First thing first, Hermes only use the leathers from the 3 top-level suppliers. One is called Nuti from Italy. The second is Weinheim from Germany. And the third is Haas from France. One piece of Togo leather, the same leather as this one, will cost 450 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one Birkin, okay? The thread. And of course, for Hermes Birkin, the thread is also the best top level. It's called Fil à Chinois from France. This is actually the Rolls Royce in thread. For each bag, the cost is 25 USD. And then the hardware. See, this hardware is called 316 hardware. It's also known as the ocean stainless steel because it can withstand the erosion of seawater. It's the best stainless steel. For one piece of bag, the hardware will cost 150 USD. The edge oil. This edge oil is imported from Italy. It's called heat sealed edge oil. For each bag, it will cost 50 USD. The interior lining, it used lambskin imported from France. For each bag, the cost will be 100 USD. And also inside, there is a zipper from Riri brand. And the zipper for one bag is 10 USD.
The moment I heard this, my jaw hit the floor. Not because I'm surprised, but because it confirms what so many of us have suspected for years, that these luxury brands are all smoke, mirrors, and profit margins. And Hermes? If this rumor is true, they just got caught red-handed.
These are pieces of artwork. These artisans train years and years to make one of these bags.
Fabrice is doing the last stitching on a Kelly bag. A Kelly takes around 13 hours to be made, depending on the materials that we make it. Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly bag.
Well, Hermes says, made in China, does it feel cheaper? No, that's not quality issue. It's luxury brand washing.
Hermes, you guys, it's time to show off your factories. No, I don't want to wait to go on YouTube and watch a beautiful documentary on. Show them off right here on TikTok. Let the world see. Okay, get like China. You gotta be ghetto about it. Just let people know.
Allegedly ending Birkin production to avoid a full-on PR disaster? Yeah, that tracks in dumb world. All right, let's get into it. So here's how it's supposedly all unraveled. Jane Birkin's daughter, the same daughter who's always been a little skeptical of the whole Birkin circus, starts asking questions, and she finds out that Hermes was allegedly outsourcing some of their production to a Chinese factory. Okay, fine. But here's the punchline. That exact same factory was also producing Walmart's viral work-in bag. I'm sorry, but you cannot make this up. That's not just questionable business practice. That's luxury fraud. It's brand destroying. If you're out here flexing about elite French craftsmanship while quietly using the same supply chain as Walmart, you don't deserve to be called a luxury label. You deserve to be dragged.
I had a lot of requests, do Hermes next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
Italy, made in China. Or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way. I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
It requires a lot of skill to turn it and get it on the right way.
Il y a des bouchées, des bacs plus 4, 5, 6, on en a. Hein.
Let's talk about that little gold stamp. Made in France. It's supposed to mean tradition, artisanship, exclusivity. But if this factory overlap is legit, that label means nothing. What you're really buying is a cheap bag with a fat markup, wrapped in French perfume and sprinkled with lies. If Hermes was using the same production lines as Walmart, even for parts of their bags, then the whole luxury myth collapses. You paid 5 figures for a fantasy. And it turns out the fantasy came straight from an assembly line next to Walmart's spring collection.
Got a lot of requests, do Hermes next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
Italy, made in China, or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way. I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
Hermes sold you a dream and allegedly sourced it like it was fast fashion. I'd be furious if I were a Birkin owner. Remember when the internet clowned Walmart for selling a Birkin knockoff called the Workin? Everyone laughed. But now, it might not have been a knockoff at all. Allegedly, that bag was being made by the same manufacturer Hermes was using. Same materials, same hardware suppliers, same stitching process. That's not a coincidence. That's a leak. And now it makes sense why the Workin looked so damn familiar. People said it was too close to be a dupe. Well, now we know why. If you've got the same factory, the same machines, and the same blueprint, it's not a fake. It's a rebrand. And the fact that Hermes didn't sue Walmart tells me everything I need to know. This is where things get wild. Insiders say Jane Birkin's daughter didn't just stumble on this, she dug. Like any smart legacy kid trying to protect her mom's name, she went deep, sourcing invoices, tracing shipping documents, comparing supplier names. Allegedly, when she saw the overlap between Hermes' supplier list and Walmart's China factory vendors, that was it. Game over. She reportedly confronted execs. Some say she even threatened to go public. Next thing you know, quiet internal panic. Behind closed doors, Hermes allegedly starts pulling back on Birkin production, scrambling to rewrite contracts and preparing a new PR angle. They didn't want this story out, but it's out. And the silence speaks volumes. Let's talk fallout. TikTok is on fire. Birkin owners, real ones, are posting rants. They're showing receipts, flipping their bags upside down, analyzing stitching. YouTubers are tearing into Hermes with side-by-side comparisons of Birkins and Walmart Workins. And let me tell you, the bags are scarily similar. People who spent college tuition on a bag are now questioning if they were duped. And honestly, I don't blame them. If I dropped 20, 30, even 100 grand thinking I was buying rare craftsmanship, and it turned out my bag was sharing a supply chain with a discount aisle tote, I'd lose it. This isn't about ego. It's about being scammed, luxuriously. And that's what makes this story so enraging. You weren't just tricked, you were marketed into submission. You know what Hermes has said about all of this? Nothing. Not a single statement, no denial, no press release, not even a vague, "we stand by our quality" post on Instagram. Nothing. And that silence is honestly more insulting than the scandal itself. Because when brands stay quiet during a scandal, you know what that tells me? That they think they're untouchable, that they think their silence is luxury, that saying nothing is more on brand than telling the truth. Hermes is hoping this goes away. They think staying above the drama makes them look strong, but it doesn't. It makes them look guilty, weak, and arrogant. Let's be real. The Birkin isn't just a bag, it's a status symbol. It's supposed to mean you've arrived, you've made it. It's exclusivity on your arm. But this scandal just burned all that to the ground. If your $30,000 flex piece was stitched together in the same sweatshop as Walmart's discount handbag, what are you actually flexing? You're not flexing taste or wealth. You're flexing how good Hermes was at marketing a fantasy. And that's the part that stings most. The entire luxury machine runs on trust. And Hermes, if these rumors are true, just nuked that trust. Collectors are already panicking. Resale markets are shifting. People are talking about pre-scandal versus post-scandal Birkins like they're stocks. And all of that comes from one thing: exposure. This story didn't just bruise the Birkin brand, it broke it. Let's zoom out for a second. If Hermes is allegedly outsourcing Birkin production to Walmart factories, what does that say about the rest of the luxury world? If the gold standard of exclusivity is allegedly built on mass production and lies, what about Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton? This isn't just about Hermes anymore. This rumor cracks the door open to a much bigger, much darker reality. That luxury fashion has been running a decades-long con, selling fantasy, hiding margins, masking fast fashion under the disguise of heritage. And if the public turns on that system, for real, this entire industry's in trouble. Because people aren't just mad, they feel betrayed. This wasn't some influencer scandal. This was the luxury house, the one we were all told stood above the rest, the one people sacrificed to own. And now, that house is on fire. Behind the scenes, the fashion world is freaking out. Not publicly, of course. That would be too honest. But whispers are everywhere. Stylists are pulling Hermes from red carpet looks. PR reps are rushing to distance their clients from the orange box. Even auction houses are starting to get nervous about post-scandal Birkin valuations. One insider allegedly told a fashion blog that certain celebrity closets are now archiving their Birkins. Not for preservation, but for damage control. That's how bad this is. The panic isn't about money. It's about exposure. If this kind of scandal can hit Hermes, no brand is safe. And the old system, the one built on mystery and gatekeeping, is starting to crumble. Fashion media is playing it safe for now. But that silence won't last. You can already feel the shift coming. And when the wolves start turning on their own, that's when you know the empire's falling. Here's the real question no one wants to ask. What happens when the illusion of luxury dies? Because that's what this scandal threatens to do. For decades, the industry has sold us a lie. That luxury equals craftsmanship, exclusivity, care. But this rumor, this factory link between Hermes and Walmart, it rips that illusion apart. If the most elite bag in the world is allegedly made by the same hands that sew $25 totes, then what's left? A logo? A color scheme? A price tag? That's not luxury. That's branding. That's psychological manipulation. And we're waking up. And maybe that's what scares them most. Not the scandal itself, but what comes after. When people stop buying into the fantasy, when the $30,000 status symbol just looks like a mass-produced lie, when the dream dies, and all that's left is plastic, profit, and silence. Now let's talk about the silence from the rich and famous. Where are the influencers? Where are the it girls? Where's the outrage from the celebrities who bragged about their Birkin collections in every Vogue interview? Suddenly they've gone very quiet. You'd think if this rumor was bogus, they'd be rushing to defend their bags. But no one's talking, no one's posting, not even a single "don't believe the rumors" IG story. That silence? It's not normal, it's panic. It's the kind of silence that happens when your PR team says, "Don't touch this story, God, it's radioactive." And the crazy part? These are the same people who built the Birkin myth. They fueled the hype. They helped convince millions of people that this bag was the ultimate symbol of status. Now that myth is cracking, and they're nowhere to be found. Makes you wonder if they knew all along. Let's be honest. Hermes never sold you a bag. They sold you access. That's the dirty truth of luxury fashion. The wait lists, the gatekeeping, the sales associate games, all of it was about control. They made you feel like you had to earn it, like you had to be chosen to spend $30,000. And when you finally got your hands on that Birkin, it wasn't about the craftsmanship. It was about the feeling of being on the inside. But now, that illusion is shattered. If these bags are allegedly made in the same places as Walmart handbags, then what were you really paying for? Not leather, not labor, just lies. You weren't chosen. You were targeted. They sold you exclusivity and delivered mass production. And that's what stings the most. It wasn't just overpriced, it was manipulative. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. If this rumor is true, and let's be honest, it lines up with what we've all suspected, then Hermes deserves every ounce of backlash they're getting right now. The Birkin bag was supposed to be the crown jewel of fashion. And now, it's the face of one of the biggest luxury frauds of our time. They scammed us with gold stamps and marketing buzzwords. They sold dreams with 6-year wait lists and crocodile tears. But in the end, they allegedly went cheap. They got greedy. They used the same hacking factory as Walmart. And they thought we'd never notice. Well, guess what? We noticed. And if Hermes doesn't come clean soon, if they keep playing this quiet, elite, out-of-touch game, then the Birkin won't be a flex anymore. It'll be a joke, a punchline, a relic from the era when luxury was still pretending to mean something. This isn't just a scandal. It's a reckoning. And I'm here for it.